Hello Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Virgo August 2021 Astrology Must Knows. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com so you can see the organized list of all of the free goodies that I make for you each month. You don't want to miss anything that will help you to make the most of the starry opportunities. And if you'd like to be an astrologer as your profession or add it to a current profession, or just learn more for your own self-development and to help your family and friends, you will love my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course, which you can see at lumelife.com, L-U-M-E life.com. Okay, so to make the most of this video, definitely know that this is for you if Virgo is your moon, Virgo is your sun, or your rising, or your Mercury, or your Venus, or your Mars. There are so many different levels to our being and our experience, and you can go into more and more depths with the magical art and science of astrology. So just wanted to let you know that, so it's not just for the Sun and Virgo people. Second of all, if you are a late Virgo person, or if you have a late degree Virgo placement, meaning if your birthday is from around September 12th through the rest of the sign, or if you are from around 20 degrees through 29 degrees with your placement, and the later in the month of September or the later in degree you are, the more this is true, I highly recommend you also watch my Libra horoscope. And if you're a late degree person, you might want to experiment with watching Virgo and Libra videos for myself and whoever else you watch, because you have a more complex read as a late degree person, and you'll get more insights by expanding your scope. Okay, so what do we have going on this month? Let's talk about the major must-knows that I have for you. We'll talk about the things to celebrate, the things to look out for. First off, first must-know is that we are in this brilliant time of open stars that started around July 7th and goes through around September 7th, with August being right smack in the middle here. Open stars means we're in a time free of personal planets retrograde, being in retrograde, Mercury, Venus, Mars. We don't have any of those retrogrades this month, and that is very exciting. If you want to know what it's like to be in a retrograde, think back to the second part of May and all of June, when things got cast into confusion. You can't plan more than a second ahead. Plans that you made are dissolving, things in your house are breaking. There's confusion and communication breakdowns, and it's more of an introspective and retrospective focus in a retrograde. But that's not this month. This month is all about direct movement, forward momentum, and activating potentials. It's one of the best months of the year for engagements, weddings, commitments, contracts, large purchases, anything having to do with business launches, new jobs, new employment, promotions, moves, anything that requires communication between people, agreement and understanding about what's being agreed upon, clarity, and there's lots of energy for doing things now that can be great for a really long time to come. So these open stars, definitely time to take action. Some other factors that are making these stars so open this month and much lighter than we have had for May, June, and July is that we're free from the direct outer planet clashes. Many of the months we've had so far this year, and lots of the months in 2020, we had outer planet clashes. When the planets that move more slowly get together in a challenging configuration and they just sit there dogging us for extended periods of time, we really feel that. And it did happen again in June, and all of 2021 is in the shadow of the Saturn-Uranus square, for sure. And you can see my video if you just search for Annie Botticelli Saturn-Uranus square. You can see more about that. But we're not in a time of a direct hit with that aspect in August. So there's a little bit of a lightening, a softening, a moving into the backdrop of the storylines there. Also, we are out of the web of the most intense time of the eclipse season, which was May, June, and July. So the confusion, the anxiety, the constant feeling like your finger's stuck in an electric socket, the life-changing things, the major goodbyes, the major hellos, even the great things could have thrown you into a tizzy because of just the nature of how consequential major they were. You know, we're kind of in a time where integration is happening and more normalcy is coming, with the new changes that happened then being worked into your usual schedule and usual experience, where things are calming down a bit. So there's lots to celebrate, a lot of reasons why this is such a good time for action and clarity. Okay, so something else to celebrate, another major must know, is we have a sequence of Uranus trines. This is great for everybody, but especially great for earth and water signs who will have these kisses in the general transits connect into their personal planets. So you being an earth sign, you are in the extra running for smooches here. So let's talk about Uranus and what this looks like and some important dates to note. Uranus is the planet of surprises. It brings things out of the blue. When it's in a nice configuration, it tends to bring in things out of the blue that are happy surprises, happy things coming together in a wonderful way, happy insights or major breakthroughs that elucidate a situation and bring solutions. So there's the energy of that the whole month, even into early September, so all of August into early September. But there are some hot spot dates where the manifestations are even more likely. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the dates, but note that the days around these dates, like a few days before and a few days after, are still fair game for manifestation from these, so they're not isolated to the dates. And also know, if you want a more complete list of all the sweet and salty dates of the month, what the aspects are, what you can expect from them delivered to your inbox 1 month early, then you can go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter. But I'll give you some goodies here to work with. Okay, so the first Uranus Trine is on August 2nd and 3rd with Venus. The second is on August 19th and 20th with Mercury. The third is on August 21st and 22nd with Mars. And then there will be a fourth in early September, the first week, with the Sun. Okay, so extra goodies at that time. Now, like I said, everyone in the cosmos will have a chance to have goodies that come from this. But the closer you are to 14 degrees, the more likely you are to have a direct and most notable outcome from this sweet sequence. Okay, so who are the 14 degree people? Basically the August 30th through around September 9th or 10th. The closer to around September 4th you are, the more you're zoned in for this goodie. Kind of like, imagine it that you're watching a butterfly in the yard. That's a general transit. Everyone gets excited when they see butterflies, hopefully. I know I do. Wow, a butterfly is there. Look at it, how cool it is, right? Okay, we're experiencing it. It's out there. But then when you have close to 14 degrees, the butterfly lands on you and you're like, oh my gosh, the butterfly landed on me. This is really cool, right? So it brings it more close to your personal experience when the aspect happening out there links into a mathematical degree that's in your chart, okay? So that's you August 30th through around September 9th, closer to September 4th. And for, if you know your degree, it's going to be from around 9 degrees through 19 degrees, and the closer to 14 degrees, the more butterfly kiss. Okay. Now, those dates we talked about, August 21st and August 22nd, when the Mars trine is happening, we also have a full moon in Aquarius, which is a blue moon. Everyone knows the saying, once in a blue moon. We know this because blue moons are more rare than regular full moons are, right? So a blue moon is a full moon that happens as the second full moon of a calendar month or the second full moon of a zodiac sign. And that is happening now, and there's a lot of intensity around the full moon, but because there's this beautiful aspect coinciding with it, it increases the odds of a very sweet experience. And there might be water where it's not supposed to be. If you're a person who is near the water or has water in your house, pipes, anything kind of swelling, is more likely, and that's for better or worse. But there are opportunities here for this to be even very, very positive, even if there is a challenge involved. So elucidation, sudden game-changing insights, small spark becoming a major catalyst, anything having to do with a rare opportunity that comes in for you to activate. And what's even more great about it is that if a rare opportunity comes in, the stars are super clear for you to do something with the opportunity. So we always like that when the clarity and the opportunity and the energy for action all jive together. That's happening at this time. Okay, so everyone in the zodiac will have full moon opportunities, blue moon opportunities in the energy of Aquarius, which is friendships, social media, your place within the group, your tribe, finding people that are like-minded, that resonate with your sentiments, anything having to do with internet-based projects, technology, humanitarian efforts, all of those things, networking, dating, online dating, meeting people, friendships, anything like that, all have a chance to be accentuated at this time. But specifically for Virgos, your 6th house is being accentuated. And this is true for all early, middle, and late degree Virgos, because since it's a late degree moon, it's happening in the 6th house regardless of where you are in the Virgo spectrum. A lot of times moon aspects will happen in different houses depending on where you're at, but because it's late degree, it falls into the 6th house for all of you. So the 6th house full moon can bring health awarenesses, health breakthroughs. Sometimes a breakthrough comes in the form of learning about a problem, but along with the problem can also come the solution. And the odds of that happening now are more likely. And definitely finding out something that can be of value to you, things involving pets and animals, finding your forever pet, giving your pet a forever home rather, something like that with animals, your diet, your wellness, reaching health goals, stress management, all of that can come in a big way. Okay, so another major must know is that we have strong energy in Leo, and what that means for Virgo is that it's time for your birthdays, okay? So whenever the planets get into Leo, that means they're going into Virgo next, which means imminent birthday time, and of course we know that August is a time at the end when the birthdays start for you. So your birthday is happening this month or it's happening soon, and in the weeks before your birthday, or if you're watching for another Virgo placement, the time when the sun crosses over that Virgo placement, okay? It's equally as much of a rebirth in many ways, regardless of your Virgo placement, than a birthday would be. So the same rules and the same experiences are present here. When the 12th house gets crowded before the sun crosses over your Virgo placement, this happens the same time every year around this time, you start to think more. We know that Virgos worry a lot. They look at a lot of details and get themselves overwhelmed with it. You get spinning in your mind, and the chance for that happening is more intense now. So, but the chance also for you to have breakthroughs in trying to choose faith over fear. There are always going to be things to fear. But when we remember that the divine hand of the universe is benevolent, and I really believe that, and I believe that things like the Fibonacci sequence, the predictable math behind its coherence that is evident in nature when we look at, symmetrical, sacred geometrical creations in every aspect of life, from DNA through flower shape, through, seashell shapes. Also, the mean distance between each of the planets in the solar system work with the golden ratio. So that ratio that's mathematical, to me, math shows that the universe is coherent and benevolent, even though it seems chaotic. And so the more you can own that truth as your own, the more you'll have major breakthroughs at this time. And there is a chance for you to face and overcome your fears. You might feel a little bit more anxious, kind of like taking out everything from your refrigerator and cleaning it out. That time where you're taking it all out of the refrigerator and everything is a mess before you get it back in and it's all nice and clean and organized, that's the time before the sun crosses over your placement, okay? So you're kind of in that now, and just know that your fridge is going to be super clean once you go through the work of cleaning it out. Okay, so strong Virgo energy means that all of the Virgo placements are going to cross over your placements. It also means that the personal planets are going to be speaking your language. Everything in life is a language, and astrology is no different. And within the language of astrology, there are other mini languages, sub-languages, dialects, if you will, that some of which jive better with others. So when certain planets are speaking a certain language through going through a certain sign, they're speaking that language. And at this time, they're speaking your language. And things always make more sense and, feel like they're more jiving and in the flow and harmonious when that happens. So hopefully that manifests for you. The first house is going to be strongly accentuated as well, and this is going to be true even stronger as each of you reaches that milestone of the sun crossing over either your sun at your birthday or the sun crossing over your points in your chart. And remember, you can run a free birth chart online. Just search for how to run a free birth chart, and you can see what degrees you have of your placements, and the more you know this, the more you can use the type of information that I give you in these videos and other resources online. So having a first house accentuated is very much about your physicality, your relationship with your body. It has to do with your image, anything from your appearance to what you want to be in the world, how you want to present yourself. When people say, what do you do? That whole thing of what do you do is part of your first house. And so recognition and anything having to do with even, having pictures taken, if you need to have pictures taken, Venus is moving through your first house, and this is very supportive to even looking your best. So a lot of things can come up along those lines, from looking your best and feeling your best. And there are multiple aspects in your chart bringing up the topic of health. So this might be a time where you make some very positive improvements, and it's a really good time to commit to and try to make some long-term changes in your life. Only the long-term changes are going to be the ones that help you to reach and keep your goals, so managing your stress, changing your diet and lifestyle rather than just going on a diet are the types of changes that will be more easily implemented now for the long term. So that's exciting. Okay, so a couple of more things to look out for. We do have more salty aspects compared to sweet ones this month. But because there are so many sweet aspects, I'm hoping that that will bolster and offset challenges that come from the nuisance ones. And the nuisance aspects are just that. They're little blips on the screen. They might bring awkwardness or minor interruptions to progress, or little annoying people along the way, but they're quick to pass because they're not the outer planet conflicts. They're just kind of like, oh, this is annoying, it passes. Oh, this is annoying, it passes. And we do have, a lot of really great aspects, like I said, that can help bolster. We do have quite a few inconjuncts, which do bring this feeling of like trying to connect with something and it's just like passing. So if you can have those experiences and acknowledge you're having them without making too much of them, probably they'll just work themselves out. Sometimes the overthinking of things can make them more complicated and make us have a worse experience of them. And certainly I know Virgos can tend to overthink things, so just want to watch that. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about has to do with Jupiter. And Jupiter is still in retrograde, so certain things that were raging forward at the beginning of the year might have seemed to have gone into a lull and a holding space. And that's okay. Jupiter's still working on these things. So if there are things in your life that you're like, what happened? Everything just kind of just cooled off. There's a very good chance that come October, you might even see signs of it. It's coming to life now. September, a little more active. And then in October, when Jupiter goes direct, immigration, long distance travel, international business things, anything having to do with other countries, other languages, might have fallen into the backdrop. And they'll start to race forward soon. So you might want to make yourself be ready. Like, let's say you're trying to move and things haven't been working out. Like, start clearing out and organizing as if you're moving. Getting things ready for what you want to experience might be a very good way to use the energy, because when it shifts, it's going to shift fast, and you might wish you had done more preparation work. Okay, so definitely check out my video also, Making Wishes Come True, if you're making wishes for your birthday, which I highly recommend. So if you just search for Annie Making Wishes Come True, you can see my video on how to make the most of your magical birthday wishes. If you want even more details about how the current and upcoming astrology may affect you personally and how you can make the most of the opportunities, your first one-hit stop is to go to anniehelpsyou.com. Right there on the front page, you can sign up for my free email newsletter. You will also see a list of all of the other free things that I have for you each month, and you can interface with them through that one organized section. When you sign up for my free email newsletter, you get many wonderful bonuses, including a monthly write-up 1 month ahead delivered into your inbox of all of the notable aspects of the month, what you can expect from them, and the sweet and salty dates, and a general write-up of the points to note as the astrology must-knows. You definitely want to go to lumelife.com, L-U-M-E life.com. That's my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, and check out the free courses that I have there. And I also have paid courses. And if you think I put a lot into my free resources, you should see the depth and complexity of my paid courses. If you would like to be an astrologer as your trade, be a professional astrologer, add astrology to any of your other work offerings, or just do astrology in a deeper way for your friends and family, for your own self-development, then you will love my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course. This is a mega course that will equip you to do whatever you'd like to do with astrology. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.